Happy Saturday! I hope you guys have stayed dry this morning, and now we're on the back end of all the showers and storms. But we are still kind of gloomy looking out the door. So looking at the shoals, you can see it's gray. And that's about it. It is very dark and gloomy across the valley. We're left with a lot of cloud cover and some cooler air from earlier this morning, where we had some heavy downpours and showers and storms. And now we're going to have a cooler afternoon, evening, and that'll roll into Sunday. However, we're expected to see some sunshine to return, and I'll get into that in a second. Looks like it's about 69 outside in the shoals. We're going to continue to see some cooler conditions for the next couple of days as we had that blast of cold air, like I mentioned. So here's the deal with our radar. As you can see here, it's not picking up very much. This is just some brush. We're not expecting to see rain chances. There are a couple of areas that a couple of models feel like there may be a passing shower or two, but those are going to be very light, very short-lived. Everything's fine. Just a passing shower that you may notice for about 10 to 15 minutes, and it should be fine. Other than that, it's not at all widespread either. I want to say they have them closer to our culprits always around the Fort Payne area, but I mean, I feel like they always do with some of the crazy rain that we get, and thankfully they got a break. But radar is just kind of picking up much of nothing right now, because our radar seems to have taken a hit from some lightning earlier this morning. So it's making things live look wise a little tougher to kind of balance out, but thankfully we still have the Birmingham radar. We've got one around Nashville, so we have quite a few that are still able to encompass parts of our viewing areas, so that way it doesn't feel like we're missing too much. So all that to say, just keeping you ahead of the game and understanding, if you try and pull up the radar on our app, it may not work on your phone. I know my radar that I religiously look at on my phone is not even pulling it up, and I think, honestly, let me see. I'll show you. Yeah. So it even has, don't know if you can see that all that well, but it has a red dot where our radar should be up, flowing, and working. So it's going to be kind of tough to see with I think the engineers are already working on it for NWS purposes, but it's kind of tough to forecast around that. But these things happen, and that's one of those things that, like I mentioned last night, that's what we mean about first alert weather days. Our biggest concern is just letting you know that, hey, there's a potential for some heavy rain, for frequent lightning. That could have delayed a couple of games. I posted earlier on my Facebook page about the fact that some of the time we do call these first alert weather days to your attention, because we want you to be planned and aware of what could possibly happen. And I'm thankful that we didn't see those heavy showers and storms last night. I would have much rather you've been safe than we all be sorry. So, and if the only thing we suffered from it is just as of right now, just a lightning strike that has kind of taken our radar out of commission at the moment, I'd much rather deal with that. So that's always good news to know. We did see those showers and storms that were anticipated for Friday evening move much farther north. They were around Nashville, Clarksville, Hendersonville as well. There's a lot of vills up there, now that I think about it. Franklin, even Mount Juliet, an area I used to live in. If you didn't know, I used to live in Nashville when I was in middle school. So did that for about a year or two. But anywho, those areas ended up with tons of lightning, tons of heavy torrential rain, and we were seeing our lightning indicator that you can see here currently at 0. Good, love that. But it was around like 600 strikes that it had picked up in about 30 to 40 minutes, and that could have very well been our community if it didn't go as far north as we anticipated. Well, if it stayed where we anticipated, if it didn't go farther north, that whole thing. But all that to say, these first alert weather days are just to keep us ahead of the game, just to be safe and knowledgeable, and even all the way down to our school administration. I did a story in Savannah about how administrators have a weather center it's like a little stick that's placed on top of a lot of the concession stands, and it sends out notifications and messages to coaches and admin of sports nature. Coaches, whether they're football or basketball or baseball or cheer, everyone received a notification of, hey, lightning's detected in the area. If you have to practice outside, no. Send your athletes indoors. And we wait, and there was a whole timer involved in there. It was really cool. But it was nice for them to see and note that, hey, that's something we need to probably think about and make it easier to access for a lot of our staff members. So I just thought that was really cool. But now that we've gotten past the rain and we've got some cooler air, it's dried a lot of those rain chances out, keeping us with some rain-cooled air. Lots of us in the mid-70s on the southern portion of our community here, but those Tennessee counties that were hit hardest with the rain overnight, low-end 60s. It's breezy up there as well. So we'll see more of those conditions make their way further south throughout the rest of your Sunday. So it'll be more of the same for Sunday. Like I mentioned, passing shower for 5 p.m. tonight. But even still, just enough to give you a heads up. But radar's not pulling it back up, and I'm not seeing it on our models at the moment. But we'll walk through models in just a second. We'll continue to see some upper 60s, mid 60s closer to the 8 or 9 o'clock hour. And once we get to 11 o'clock and get into the early hours of Sunday morning, that's when we'll finally start to see this cloud cover move out of the way and leave us with a very beautiful Sunday. Sunshine expected all around. No cloud cover to note, which is nice. It'll warm up just a tad. It'll be much warmer than what we saw today, though. 72 to 74 was our range for today. And tomorrow's expected to be closer to 78, 79. So that's good. But we'll start, if you look at 5 a.m., we'll start our morning out in the mid and upper 50s. So it'll be quite brisk for the valley. And we'll see that for the next couple of days as well. Max wants to follow along with me. Yes, like I mentioned, 79 expected for your Sunday. Nice and breezy. We're expecting to see gusts get up to about 13 miles per hour. So that's a decent breeze for lots of us. We'll see a lot of areas struggle to stay around the mid 70s due to the breeze and just the fact that we do still have some cooler air moving around. So keep that in mind as you make your plans for tomorrow. I think I'll walk you through that in a second. Once we get to this humidity outlook, it loves to update at 4:30. I don't know why I don't commit that to memory. It updates every single week at the same time. Anyway, it's saying sticky conditions for tomorrow. I don't really buy that. I feel like it's going to be on the comfy end, especially with it being much drier than we've seen today. It'll be drier tomorrow. So great and amazing is what I've previously seen for Monday through Wednesday. It's just going to be cooler than we expected. So, and to note, if I didn't mention it, First Alert Weather Day is expired for today. So, don't know if I mentioned that. If you'll tune in at 5, I'll walk you through what the temperature is going to look like for tomorrow and what to really expect. But here's the week at a glance here. We're expecting to see gorgeous sunshine for the next couple of days. How exciting. Cloud cover will be in the mix every now and again, but we'll finally get back into those mid 80s in the back half of the work week. So we'll start the work week a little cooler. Temperatures in those low end 80s, but your mornings, we're going to be in a fall-like pattern here. I'm getting tired of saying false fall. It is at this rate, it's just fall-like pattern. This is like the 5th one we've had. When is it false? When is it false at this rate? But lots of our mornings, we're kind of getting that point where you start your day off needing a light jacket, needing something a little bulkier than you're used to at this rate, at this time of year, but it starts to warm back up and get into the 80s by the time you get ready to head on home from work and you're like, I don't need this jacket. I brought it for what? We're about to step into that kind of, I don't know what to wear anymore kind of weather. So we'll see that for the next couple of days to start off the work week, and then we'll be back into our normal mid and upper 80s, that range closer to next weekend. Looks like we're anticipating some beautiful sunshine, a couple of clouds in the mix, but so far no rainmakers on the way. we'll start to see temperatures warm up. Like I mentioned, by Thursday, Friday, we'll be back to normal. But keep that in mind. It's going to start the work week a little fall-like, so dress accordingly. But hey, next Friday looks like it's going to be gorgeous. Thursday, Friday, Saturday. I know a couple of schools play Thursdays, but college football on Saturday and even Sunday. Got some gorgeous weather for my favorite sport. But yes, we'll start to see warm-ups on the way. Fall is on the way. Question mark at this rate. I don't even know if it's here, maybe. Maybe it's in disguise, but we'll see about that. We'll be on air tonight at 5. There is no 6 o'clock. Keep that in mind. We do have football coverage tonight, I believe. If not football, I know currently we have X Games and motorbikes and ATVs. Oh my, I think that's on our channel at the moment, which is always so intriguing to me to see some of the sports that you don't normally hear people talk about, like outside of football, golf, and baseball, and the like, basketball to note too. I really do enjoy sitting to watch the skaters and ATVs. It's so cool. I don't even understand the point value. I didn't know there was a point value to them. I think it's maybe something to do with their time. If anybody's well-versed in what those point values mean for the bikers, let me know, because I feel like it has something to do with time, but I don't know. Anyway, all that to be said, we'll be back on tonight at 10. I believe tomorrow's 10 should be pushed back a little bit. We've got football coverage, of course. It is the first Sunday night football of the season. Yeah, because the Cowboys-Eagles game was the first. That rain delay was something else. See, and that goes to show you first alert weather, regardless of where you are. It can always affect something you're doing. I sat up a whole extra hour to watch that game. Thankfully, I worked the evening shift last night, but if I had worked my regular shift, I would have had to cut it off at some point. We're going to have to turn this off. But hope you'll tune in tonight at 5 and stick around. Watch us again at 10. I'll be back tomorrow evening with another forecast, and Jeff DeNoyer will be in tomorrow morning. And with that being said, hope you have a great rest of your Saturday, great rest of your football enjoyment if you're watching the X Games sports that are on NBC currently. Hope you enjoy that. And if you're not watching any of that at all and you're enjoying something like the Gilmore Girls or Wednesday just came out, hope you're enjoying that as well. All that to be said, stay warm, stay dry. We will. There's no more rain, not much rain, but stay warm. I'm cold myself, so have a good one.